Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we're hopping into the Devilish Party Big Feast against Luffy, the 60 stamina event that is out on OPTC Global at the moment. This is like the first time it's come back. I think it's come, actually, now I'm thinking about it, it's come back one other time. And seeing as there's a bit of a slow drip of content at the moment, I thought I'd put together a couple of teams for you guys to take on this particular event. Now, these teams aren't exactly free-to-play friendly, but at the same time, this was just something to do, I guess. And if you guys are struggling with this event, hopefully some of these teams will help you out. And if they do, make sure to belt that like button. And if you are new to my channel, hit the big red subscribe button as well. But the teams that we are rocking today against Luffy, we are using 3 different teams. The first team is a Halloween Ace team. Halloween Ace was just like brought out around this particular time, and this is the team that I used to take down Luffy. It worked very, very well. Kona support, Nami support are not essential. You can replace them with any other stat booster, but this team works very, very well. Double Halloween Ace obviously as our leaders, with V1 Snake Man, Usohachi, V1 Sanji, and Coliseum Kid, who helps us out with the res. The next team I have is my dynamic duo. The team I like, the combination I love to run is Shanks crew with a friend Roger. With this particular team, it does it very, very well as well. But you do have some key supports of Corazon and the Bonnie on Kuma, so we can remove the bind on the Rayleigh stage. This team here worked very, very well. Except for when you get to the end with the special reverse, you can actually replace Arlong with like another unit if you really want to, as the Liberal Hind will give you the specials. I just brought Arlong because they're a very, very good attack booster, but if you just replace them with any other attack booster, like the Rare Recruit Luffy or like Sober Mask, basically anyone that gives an attack up, it's going to work just as well. And then use the Liberal Hind to get your specials, as long as it is a Psy unit or Sober Mask who gets cooldowns when you use other people's specials. That'll work fine too. The final team is a BlackBeard and Law team. I really wanted to use Law, and while I was doing the run, it was a little bit shaky, but it managed to clear it ridiculously well and ridiculously easy. So as like you guys know, this content is about a year old now, so it's not exactly the hardest content, but it is still a little bit fiddly. Finally, for the final team I have for you guys in this particular video is I actually had another team for the 40 stamina Party of Horror Crocodile event that I was actually using to farm it. And as I only got like one team out for you guys, I want to show off the team that the guys and I, or the guys in stream, technically built. And this is it just here. So it's a double sugar team. It's basically a full cerebral team, cerebral powerhouse team anyway. We do have the free-to-play Robin for the extra drops with the Log Luffy support, which is very essential about getting some extra orbs at the end. We have Perispera support on our sugar to lock those orbs, so make sure that you use your friend sugar first and save your sugar to the end. On Reiju we have Sora. She's going to guarantee a T&D orb at the end. And then on our time skip Nami, we have the 20th anniversary Sanji. Now, besides all of the other supports, like besides Perispera maybe, it's just a guaranteed way of getting orbs at the end, as we really only have an orb buff for the final stage. Shanks, you could use like the Story Vivi to get a matching orb as well, as long as you just have like some way of getting matching orbs on Reiju, Robin, and Shanks. It'll definitely help you out just in that initial burst stage, because really the only buff we have for sugar is that orb buff. Now, when I did my run, I did sort of goofed. I didn't use the Shanks special on the Daz stage, so make sure you do that just so you have a little bit extra damage. But with that, let's hop into the runs and let's see how the teams perform. Alright, so for the first team, guys, we have a double Halloween Ace team. Now, this is the team, or like Halloween Ace was sort of built to beat this particular piece of content when it first came out on OPTC Global. As at the beginning, you actually get 15 turns of special bind for the entire run. So bringing a character that can get around that is going to help out quite a lot. So characters like Shanks crew, characters like Halloween Ace are going to be your best friends when getting around that particular debuff and not worrying about it for the rest of the fight. So for this particular team, we are using double Halloween Ace. We do have V1 Snake Man, we have Usohachi, the V1 Sanji 6+, as well as Coliseum Kid. So on stage 4 is when things start to get a little bit tricky, as we do get our bottom row binded for 10 turns. So with sockets that'll go down to 7, but we can actually just use a Halloween Ace special here to give ourselves an attack up and remove the bind. Then we can use our Usohachi special. Usohachi's going to remove that defense up. He does give cooldowns too, but it's really not why we have him here. It's not the reason why we are bringing him. And just with that massive attack buff that Ace supplies, we can just sort of tear our way through Rayleigh on that particular stage. You can stall out 2 turns if you really want to, but I think on the second turn he puts up like an orb barrier, but with barrier pen you can get around that as well. On the final stage, we come up against Luffy now. Luffy's going to turn into a Psy unit and rolls our specials back by 2 turns. He gives us a full water block orbs and locks them for one turn as well, which is very, very annoying. But this is where we have our Sanji special to change that. With Halloween Ace as our leader, we can actually avoid the special reverse, which is great. If you don't have a character that can get around that, you do need to bring someone that has like roll special forward. Very similar to this kid will actually work very, very well, as he will roll your shooters and strikers specials forward by 2 turns, so you could do that. Otherwise, just obviously with Halloween Ace, you can get around it that way. So we are going to drop all of our specials besides our kid special here, and that way we can actually just take out Luffy easy claps, as we do have an orb boost, we have the attack buff, we have a chain buff, and we have type advantage with 3 of our units. When you do kill Luffy though, he does come back, and he has a like resilience mechanic, and then he wipes away all your buffs. So you do want to be mindful of that. That's why I did bring the carryover orb effect of Luffy, because we did manage to keep our orbs with the orb blocking effect that Luffy uses. You can use the kid special on the turn like before, but he does wipe buffs, so actually you can't do that now that I'm thinking about it. So on the res, we can sort of just use that orb boost, as we do have a full board of orbs. We can destroy Luffy that way, and then we can just let kids end of turn damage get through the resilience there. So that's the double Halloween Ace team. It works very, very well. So if you do still need to farm this particular piece of content, that's the team that I would sort of be rocking, as it is very, very fast. Alright, so for the second team, guys, I'm using my favorite dynamic duo. As you guys know, I am a huge Shanks fanboy, so I do love running Shanks wherever I can, and I love pairing him up with Roger. The big upside to pairing him with Roger is your Shanks crew, or if you're bringing Roger and a friend Shanks crew, you can actually trigger the super typing using Shanks as your leader. Now, Shanks is great because he removes 10 turns of the special bind, which you get inflicted 15 turns on the very first stage, so he's really, really good at getting around that as well. So on Rayleigh, we're going to get that 7 turns of bind, but we are using the support of Bonnie and Corazon to remove the 7 turns of bind that do get inflicted here. What we can actually do on this particular stage as well is we can use the switch abilities of our Arlong crew, as well as the switch abilities of our Shanks crew. That way we can guarantee ourselves a full board of orbs. We can use Jinbei's special here to remove the defense up. He also gives fighter characters orbs if you need that as well. And then we can actually use our Kuma special. Kuma's going to give us an orb boost, and with that we just have enough buffs to just absolutely tear our way through Rayleigh here. Easy claps. We have the base stat boost from Arlong, we have the orb buff from Kuma, and then we have the attack buff from the Shanks crew switch. With that, we can just sort of tear our way through Rayleigh there and move on to the final stage against Luffy. On the final stage against Luffy, he is going to roll our specials back by 2 turns, which is a little bit annoying. It's really 1 turn actually with the preemptive, and you can't do percent damage on him at all. Otherwise, I think he wipes your buffs off the top of my head. So what we actually want to do here is we're going to switch with our Arlong crew. That way we can get the base stat buff. We can use our Arlong crew special. He's going to roll our specials forward. Then we can use our Law special. Law is going to give us the chain lock and the orb buff, and then we can hit him with our Roger special to get the attack buff, and then finish it off with the HP cut from Shanks. Now, as mentioned, you can't use HP cuts, but because we have Roger, we can actually avoid the buff wipe that Luffy provides. So with that, we can just say, sorry Luffy, not today. Unfortunately, he is going to heal back up, but again, not the end of the world, just because we have so many damn buffs with this particular team that getting through Luffy is just not an issue whatsoever. Luffy does have that revive mechanic, however, but we still do have a full board of orbs, as well as having the orb buff and the chain lock that gets... Oh, we're actually going to lose that orb buff, aren't we? That sucks. Totally forgot about that because he does wipe the buffs. Oh well, we should have enough damage here, to be honest, as we do have a 5 times captain, a 4.5 times captain with Shanks, and as you guys can see here, just with Law's chain lock, we can just absolutely devour Luffy. Then with the end of turn damage that Shanks supplies, we can actually just kill him through the resilience. So Shanks crew team works very, very well. Goldie Roger being the Pirate King, no issues whatsoever with this particular team. You can use some different characters if you want. Someone like the Rare Recruit Luffy that rolls specials forward for free spirits and fighters would work great here as well. And just fine, or even using like the Liberal Hind ship, to be honest, would work great, using the special there, getting your cooldowns for your Psy units. The final team in this particular piece of content, I really wanted to make a V4 Law and BlackBeard team work. So what happens when you get to this particular stage as well, you actually get your specials cooldown, so it's not an issue with Law, as Law sort of struggles to stall. But once you get to this particular stage against the zombies, you actually get all your specials cooldown, but we do need to make sure that we do get our buggy on our, like, so we can use Buggy's special. Because Buggy has 5 turns of like special bind like removal on himself, and then applies 5 turns of special bind. Once we get to the stage against Rayleigh, when we actually need his special, we can actually utilize Buggy's amazing special to not only remove the defense up, but he's actually going to give us like an orb blocking mechanic as well. And that way we can actually remove the special bind the last 5 turns. So on this stage against Rayleigh, we are going to use his special here. That's going to remove the special bind, which is great. And then we can use our Rayleigh special. Rayleigh is going to remove the bind as well as delay Rayleigh as well. But what we're actually going to do here is we're going to use our BlackBeard special. BlackBeard's going to give himself a 2x orb boost and a 2x attack boost. So that way we can hopefully burst our way through Rayleigh. Unfortunately, we can't actually guarantee ourselves a... What am I trying to say? We can't guarantee ourselves the 3x attack boost, but with Pudding, we can actually stockpile the attack buff for a later date if we need to. So hopefully with that, we should have enough damage to take Rayleigh out in the 2 turns. That way he's not going to put up his annoying orb barriers. Come on, BlackBeard. Beautiful. So BlackBeard's just with that 2x attack and 2x orb boost is going to do the job for us fairly well. Unfortunately, we had to actually stockpile a special. So what I would actually recommend doing is not doing that. I would use Pudding special first, as we do need to use Pudding special here. So using the Pudding special is actually going to give BlackBeard a 2x orb buff, which is a little bit annoying. What we actually want to do on this particular stage as well, I was meant to do the orb boost. Sorry, I was meant to do the orb boost. That really sucks, because we are now stuck between a rock and a hard place here. So what we actually are going to do is here, we're actually just going to attack Luffy, and we're actually going to take 2 turns. So what you ideally want to do there is actually stockpile the orb boost from BlackBeard, and then use the Shanks special for the attack boost. That way you can just guarantee, well, Law's actually going to kill. There you go. So you don't even need to worry about that. When Luffy does his 50% HP cut on the 2nd turn, Law is actually just going to say, sorry mate, I can do end of turn damage here. When Luffy reses, he obviously wipes away all of our buffs. But what we can actually do here is we can use the super typing of Law. That way we get a full heal basically. We can use Law's special. That way we can get an orb buff as well as the ability not to die. Then we can use our Shanks special. That way we can get an attack buff here. And then we can just sort of like destroy Luffy. Now Luffy does have a resilience mechanic, which means that when you kill him, he's going to do a big death hit. But with Law, we actually have the ability to survive that with his amazing special and then throw the damage back 14 mil and just absolutely clap Luffy. So there you guys go. There were the teams against the 60 stamina Luffy raid. I definitely farm up at least a couple of copies because I imagine he is going to be boosted on the treasure map. But now that we've finished that content, I've got one more team for you guys to take on Croc, the new Halloween content. So let's hop into that. Alright, so for the final video, the final part of this video, we are taking on the party of Horrid Croc. As I didn't really get a chance to do too many teams for you guys against this particular piece of content, and the fact that this particular piece of content is fairly hard, I did want to sort of throw this little clip on the end of the team that I was using to farm it. So shout out to the guys in stream, I think 3 days ago. They actually told me about this team and how easy Sugar does it. It's basically a cerebral powerhouse team, hybrid sort of team, utilizing the Zunisha ship as well as a bunch of cerebral supports to help us get through the annoying content that this is. This is just such arrogant content, man. For a 40 stamina event, this is actually stupidly hard. We are using the free-to-play Robin, the one that does come out with this event, so definitely farm her up first. Her stage is just super easy to beat. 2 Rogers and you can just clap it. We do have the treasure map Reiju, we have time skip Nami, and we have V2 Shanks. So the only supports really to note is we do have Sora on our Reiju, which isn't overly essential, but it definitely does help. But we do have the 20th anniversary Sanji on our Nami. That way we can actually remove the poison that gets inflicted to us on the last stage. And we don't have to worry about, like, with Croc's res, how much health we have and stuff like that. Because when I was running this team, I was finding that was a little bit of an issue. The other notable support we have for this particular team is on our Robin, we have Log Luffy. Log Luffy's going to give her a Strength Orb and make Strength Orbs matching for the final stage, which definitely helps us out just by getting those matching orbs for us. On this particular stage here, on the 3rd stage, we come up against a bunch of zombies. They give us 4 turns of paralysis, and they give us that new hunger debuff. They also put up 4 turns of defense up, and that's where this Robin special is very, very good. So what I was doing, I was targeting the guy in the back and just making sure I ate those meat orbs to remove the hunger pains, so you don't have to worry about the loss of damage, as well as taking that extra 3k every single turn. We still need to stall a little bit here, so we are going to use these sort of weird zombie raccoon things to actually stall out our specials. So on stage 4 we can use our sugar special. So on stage 4 here we come up against Daz and 3 zombie units, and they give us 5 turns of special bind. So what we want to do here is we want to use our time skip Nami special. That way we can remove the special bind. They do put up 8 turns of damage reduction. Without Mihawk or Vivi Rebecca, you can't really get around that, but we don't really have to, as we are going to use our friend Sugar special. My Sugar has the support of Perispera, which is definitely not essential, but it's definitely helpful, as locking those orbs on the final stage is definitely going to help you out. So what I like to do here is I actually like to target the one guy in the back, or you could sort of just target Daz if you really want to. It's not really a huge issue here, as he does have a 2-turn cooldown. And then on the second turn, you want to actually use the Sugar super typing. On the second turn, when you use the Sugar super typing, you get the orb buff, and that way you can sort of just clear out Daz. It all just depends on like what the cooldowns of the zombies in the back look like as well, as you don't really want to take too much damage from them, but at the same time, like, you do want to clear them out. So because we have 3 turns of being bears, we can just clear them out that way. Sugar doesn't really care too much about bind, as you guys know, and then we can kill the zombies on that 3rd turn of having the bears. Then we can just move into the final stage against Croc. We are going to lose that bear effect, but it's fine because we have another one with our other Sugar. And we come up against Croc. So Croc's going to turn into a Psy unit. He puts up 4 turns of Threshold, and then he poisons and paralyzes us. So with the 20th anniversary Sanji support, we can remove that poison. As you see, we have Log Luffy come in there to remove, or to give us some orbs, and then Sora is actually going to give an orb to our Reiju unit. So with Reiju, we can remove the Threshold. She also applies a poison and conditional boost against, I was meant to use Shanks. So you meant to use Shanks, sorry. You meant to use Shanks on the first turn against Daz. So as you guys saw there, it didn't really matter too much for me, but I would definitely highly recommend using that, as it's just going to allow you guys to get a lot of extra damage and make sure you kill either Daz or that guy in the back, as well as getting full border orbs. Then with the locking mechanic of Perispera you saw there, we can use the super typing of Sugar, and then we can just let the bears do the work. As they don't worry about paralysis, they don't care about bind, they just fly through Croc and take him out. On the res, Croc is going to come back with a resilience buff. He comes back with, I think, around like 30% of his HP, and he does a little bit of damage, but because we still have the bear effect, like, we can just say goodbye to Croc and let the poison that Reiju applies do the rest for us. So there you guys go. That was the 60 stamina against Luffy, and another team for you guys to take down the 40 stamina Croc, as it's very, very arrogant. But if you guys did enjoy this one, make sure to belt that like button, and if you want to stay up to date with more OPTC content I post, hit the big red subscribe button too, and if you want to be notified by YouTube when I post my stuff, hit the little bell icon too. But most importantly, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Lights!